You don't need to hire the best salespeople or have some sort of magic sales script to make a killing in sales. And if you follow this one tip I'll give you in this video, you'll be able to double your sales results. You'll book more sales calls, and all within a matter of 1 or 2 weeks. Another great bonus is that this one tip I'll give you has got nothing to do with your sales skills whatsoever, which can take you years to develop or lots of money to pay for. In fact, to implement this bit of advice to improve your sales, all you have to do is be fast. And that's accessible and possible for almost anyone watching this video. So without any further ado, let's dive in. Hi, my name is Nazim, and the last 10 years I've made my clients over $40 million in sales as a marketing consultant, experienced in media buying, lead generation, but also sales. I personally have managed a sales team at a SaaS company, and I've taken them from $0 to $5 million in cash collected in 2 years. And the best bit of advice I can tell you to improve your sales is to implement a system that is called speed to lead in sales. Speed to lead essentially means that you need to call the leads as soon as possible, preferably within 10 to 15 minutes of them coming into your pipeline. And the best case study I can give you in this perspective is insurance companies. I'll also give you a client case study and how we managed to literally book 5 times as many calls by implementing this mindset and this speed to lead system. But insurance companies also is the easiest and most accessible example. I don't know if you've ever tried to order any sort of insurance, car insurance, life insurance, or maybe a loan, right? Loans are popular. If you've ever applied for any of these things, you will know that you'll get a call back within a couple of minutes. This actually happened to me. I unwillingly kind of like experienced it, and this is what motivated me to record this video, because the client success I've been already getting since like last half a year with this client. But what urged me to record this video, what made me realize is personally encountering this big sales lesson. I was trying to order some car insurance online about a couple of weeks ago, and I filled out a document online, and I swear to God, the sales agent literally called me within 40 seconds. And guess what? Obviously, the call lasted 30 minutes. He took me through the whole shebang. I didn't want to talk to the person. I probably didn't have enough time. But he basically said, "Hey, is this actual to you? Is this something that you want to get done?" I said, "Yes." He said, "When would you like to get it done?" I said, "This week." I said, "Okay." He said, "Okay, look, in 20 minutes, I'll get you covered. We'll fill out your insurance at the best, most competitive price, and you'll just basically close the matter and be able to move on with all the other matters in your life." I said, "Okay, makes sense. Let's go for it." And in about 20 minutes, I ordered an insurance at very good terms and very affordable prices. And I'm kind of like, I was thinking back and thinking, would I really get back to this person if he tried to email me or if they tried to call me a day later? And most probably I would not. And the same goes for your sales processes. What I invite you to do in this video is to actually try to estimate roughly what's your speed to lead, what's the time that takes you or your sales team to get back to the new leads. And if it's anything longer than an hour, you're missing out big time. I'm talking doubles and triples in terms of results. In fact, there was a study that was made, and the study basically concluded that if the new leads get called within a minute, your chances of closing the deal go up to, I think, by 2,000%, something crazy like that. And if you've tried to buying from great sales teams, also Tony Robbins and all the others, if you guys watching this are in the online marketing, online business space, you will also know that those best companies have implemented and really ingrained very deep in their hearts this concept of speed to lead. Now, let me tell you about a client example. And this is how you can actually implement it too, because you're not probably running an insurance agency. This client that I'm working with is an online business. They don't have that many employees. They have only a couple of employees, but they still managed to implement this, right? So when I was working with my client, introduced the concept, they were good with it, but then there was a problem, right? The client didn't even have a full-time salesperson at the time. They had a part-time sales rep, right? And the business owner was closing the deals on their own, kind of like getting on closing calls on their own. And the sales rep that we had at the time said they couldn't commit to calling people within 10 to 15 minutes. They were pretty decent at what they did, but our results were lackluster, right? We were booking one, maybe two deals per day. Mind you, it was at a very low budget. Like we're spending only $100 per day and still booking 1 to 2 sales calls, which is very good. But now we're booking 5, sometimes even 6 or 7 for almost the same ad budget. We're spending like $130 per day now, right? So what has changed? Remember what I told you in the beginning of this video, that you don't need to have a sales guru going through this process. What we ended up doing was actually hiring a student. The student was really good. She's really good at the phone, right? But she's not a salesperson. She's just really good at talking to people and, let's say, a communicative person who's willing to get on phones with people fast. And we gave her literally a one-pager script. We're talking 300 words about 8-9 questions, and then basically some follow-up questions based on the answers. But by no means is this some sort of goated sales script, like a great sales script. And she's never done sales prior to this gig either, right? Yet our booking rate went up by 5 times. We're now booking 6 times as many calls, and one of the best compliments we're getting from leads on the phone is that, oh wow, you guys were so quick. Yes, it's relevant to me. Let's talk. And this is how you really shorten the journey of a client from filling out a form on the website to having a full-blown sales call with you as the ultimate closer or with one of your closer team members within 24 hours. Now let's take a look at over 90% of online businesses that run their sales processes. SDRs take their sweet time to reach out to the leads, probably within a day. If they're lucky, maybe within 2 days. And that already adds, let's say, 24 to 48 hours to just get a call back from an SDR. Even 6 to 7 hours is already too long. People's attention span is too little. The decision to book a call, right, or to fill out a form comes to you from a couple of minutes of interaction with your brand or your business online. And even if you have a 30-minute VSL that you're running people to, very few people actually watch the whole 30 minutes. They'll watch the first 10-15 minutes, maybe scroll through the damn thing, and they'll make a decision that, okay, this person looks kind of relevant and kind of has some social proof where I could trust the person with having a free call, and they book it. They don't spend that much time interacting with your funnels, which means that they're not as committed, or that it's going to basically spoof away from their heads that they ever booked a call with you or contacted you very quickly. And the unique name of your brand you have, Nazim Consulting or Dan Sales Consulting, will also not get stuck in their heads, because you're not running SAP or Morgan Stanley or one of those big household names. So there's no company name association. There's very little funnel interaction. And I'm just being real with you guys, right? I would love to say that they'll watch your amazing VSL or they'll remember your beautiful name, but odds are people will interact with your ads and funnels only for a couple of minutes, which makes the importance of calling them as soon as possible ever more important. That's why you need to implement the following system. Whenever you get a new lead into your pipeline, it can be your CRM, it can be that they fill out a type form. You should create an SMS and an email reminder that goes out to either you or one of your sales team members, whoever does the sales process, that they should contact the person as soon as possible. You should also clearly communicate with your sales rep and say that your biggest benchmark or your biggest KPI is obviously the amount of calls you book, but the second most important KPI is the speed to lead. And with majority of calling softwares that you have now, be it AirCall, Kixi, whatever, you can actually calculate how quickly your salespeople contact your leads. And that should be one of the key metrics that you should keep an eye on a weekly basis. And if it, again, from my experience, ever goes above 15 minutes, I think you should have a conversation with your sales reps. And again, if you are not booking as many calls as before, this would be one of the first things that I'll be looking at. So again, a lead comes in, your SDR salesperson gets a notification by SMS and email. Obviously, they need to have it installed, like a ping notification that we all hate, but they're sales people. They should be used to that. And that should be like a sign for them to call the lead ASAP. If they're on a call, make a reminder to themselves to call back all the leads that got into the pipeline whilst they were on a call as soon as possible, or as soon as the call is finished. And if you don't believe me, you can probably watch countless of Alex Hormozi videos, who's probably the biggest advocate of this system as well, and how basically even he says that he's hired someone and he's paying that person 3 or 4K per month just to be super quick on the phone and call the lead within a couple of minutes. So that's it. And again, this doesn't take some sort of magic sales script. The most important thing in sales is relevancy, right? And the best way to capture and the leads and be relevant to them is to catch them, again, capture them at a time when the matter is relevant to them, right? Which is as soon as when they do the action that they're interested in, right? So if they're interested in advertising services and they fill out a form on your website, you catch them there. Say, hey, is this John? You filled out a form on our website. Are you curious about us running ads for you? Can you tell me a little bit about it? And that whole thing is fresh in their head. They filled out the form a couple of minutes ago, and they'll gladly jump into that conversation. But over time, the importance of the matter, they probably filled out the form out of emotional needs and emotional triggers as well, because they just looked at their dashboard and their ads dashboard looks like crap, and they finally made a decision to work with someone else to help them with their ads. It's an emotional decision that they made out of frustration, but that emotional pain or emotional dissatisfaction has a tendency to basically go down, right, in strength or in relevancy over next few minutes, hours. So you have to catch them at a point where their emotional pain is the highest, and the matter and the problem is the most relevant to them in their mind's eye. And that's what good sales is. Catching people at the right time, at the most relevant time. So just do this, and I guarantee, I promise you that your sales will instantly go up to 2x, 3x. In my client's case, 5x, it might be 50%, but it's still sure as hell better than over investing hundreds of thousands of dollars into fancy sales platforms, salespeople, or running some sort of magic sales script. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching it. Like it, subscribe to my channel, and if you want to personally work with me, go to nazimconsulting.com and apply for a free breakthrough session on my website. I'll talk to you later.